This is the craziest ice cream flavor I've ever made. If you didn't read the title, yes, this ice cream is called Trash Can, and I will show you why in just a few minutes. Of course, we have to wash our hands first. On every video that I wash my hands, I get told that I'm either doing it wrong or not long enough. So I got this handy dandy watch here to tell me when I'm all done. And before you say it, yes, I only use hot water because I like to burn my hands off. At the end of all my videos, I tell you to comment a specific emoji so I know that you watched the whole thing. But I think today you probably can already guess what today's emoji is going to be. If you want to take a wild guess, go comment right now what you think the emoji is and then watch the end of the video and figure out if you were right or wrong. Now that our watch has told us that we're all done washing our hands, we're going to dry them off and then use those paper towels to turn the water off. The moment has finally come and you're going to figure out why this ice cream is called Trash Can. Actually, you're going to have to wait a few seconds longer because we got to put these gloves on first. If not, all of the glove police will just keep commenting about it. I'm just kidding. We're going to do it because this is ready-to-eat food that we're going to be touching, and so you need to wear gloves. I normally wear large and these are mediums, so they're super tight on my hands and it took me forever to get them on. The reason why this one is called Trash Can is because we were putting all these toppings in there. Cookie dough, cake crumbs, Oreo cookies. It's pretty much every single topping that they have that you'd want to eat together, including mini M&Ms and even chocolate chip cookies. They had me and Milad blend all these up until they were kind of like a crushed up dust. Here comes the trash can part. We're gonna throw all of these together so it just looks like a bunch of trash and mix it all up, and then that's gonna get sprinkled in with our ice cream. This doesn't look like quite enough to me, but let's mix it all together and figure out if he thinks we've made enough. It's kind of odd. I shook this up a ton and it still doesn't look like I really shook it up that well. He said yes, we do need to make more, but let's go ahead and start the batch of ice cream first, and then we can go ahead and mix up the rest of the trash. If you're new here, this is a bladder of cream. Most ice cream places mix comes inside of these bladders, but just like gallons of milk at the store, they all look pretty similar from the outside, but they can have different ratios or ingredients on the inside. I like to take my left hand and kind of choke the bladder and then pull the top off with my right hand and then lean it over and use gravity to just force all of that liquid out. After years of doing this and teaching all different kinds of people, I found that this is the easiest way to not drop it and cause a huge mess. And for times like this when you're not going to use the whole batch, it makes it a lot easier to stop when you need to and pop the lid back on and put it right back in the fridge. Now that we put the extra cream back, it's time to pour all of this into the ice cream machine and then add some flavoring, turn it on. Then we're going to add a few glugs of fudge from this jug. While the ice cream machine does its job freezing it up, we do need to make some more trash. We got our trash ready and the ice cream is now ready to come out. We're going to let the ice cream come out in small amounts so we can layer all of this trash and fudge into the ice cream. He told me just to go for it, but I figured for the first round I should let him teach me so that I can learn it the right way so I can teach you. And don't worry, I still mess up a little bit, but that means I can just teach you from my mistakes rather than from me being perfect. Once he's drizzled all that fudge in, we're going to add about 2 cups of the trash on top of that. Once all the trash is layered on top, it is now our turn. We're going to pull up this lever and let out some ice cream. The thing here is you don't want to let out too much. I probably should have already stopped because now I filled it up with way too much ice cream. It's a little hard to work while I'm filming because I can't really see what I'm doing, and so I make a lot of mistakes like this. Now we're going to drizzle our fudge all around and try to coat this as best as we can. Thankfully, he set us up with a ton of fudge so we can make sure this gets nice and coated. Let's squat down so you can get that nice close-up shot here. Once all the fudge is thrown in here, some of it is slid down because the ice cream is kind of soft. We are going to go ahead and add on our 2 scoops of this trash. Make sure to sprinkle it nice and evenly all over the top, but also make sure you get a ton of it in there because this is the good stuff and everyone wants to eat this. Now that we've placed both of our layers on top of the ice cream, you guessed it, we're adding another layer of ice cream, but this time we're going to pay a lot more attention and make sure we do not put too much. The longer the ice cream sits in the machine for, the thicker it gets, so our ice cream's not really falling down to make an even coat. So we're going to grab a spatula and smooth this all out so we can make a nice level layer. Whenever you want to use a spatula like this, it's just like when you decorate cakes. You want to push the thing onto itself rather than scraping it like you're buttering toast. And now you can see the ice cream is nice and level and there are no crumbs in it because we didn't scrape along the crumbs. We pushed all of the ice cream onto itself. We are almost to our last layer. First we got to start with the fudge again. Try to get an even coat on this one. It's been a little tough, but we're going to make it work because we're just going to cover with more trash so no one will ever know it was uneven. And now that we've coated the ice cream with all of our trash, it's time for our last layer of ice cream. We need to lift off the hatch and let all the ice cream fall out. It doesn't seem like there's very much left in here, so we might need to open it up and just scrape it out. Then we got to smooth out this ice cream so we can add our final layer of trash. When I first heard that this ice cream flavor is going to be called Trash Can, I was so confused on what that might mean. But now that I've made it and I've tried it, I totally understand why they made this flavor. It's pretty amazing. Now look at all of this trash. If you made it to the end, of course, the emoji for the day is a trash can. And I made this a loop for you. I think after all of that, we can all agree that